What's going on, everybody? This your boy, King Gabe here, with the second official update for Yumeko Novel number 2. Yes, this is the second update video already. Well, it's been a while since I've done an update. Last one, of course, was more of some edits that were made to the book, as well as also story arc ideals. So now we're actually got an update. There have another update. There have been a few other edits. I mean, and edits that's probably gonna be, as the more that's put into the book, it will bring forth some, little minor edits here and there. So, yeah, we'll definitely, as we go into talking about this, I'll definitely give you a really brief, quick recap on what we've already discussed in the previous update videos, just to make sure that if there are, wherever there is a minor edit, that it can be, that we can address it there. So, definitely we'll do that. Also, before we go into this, definitely be sure you like, share, subscribe, and also get some of our books, as well as also become a Patreon to help support the channel, just like your boy AJ the Supreme. Oh yeah, AJ the Supreme, and he's back on YouTube. And what I mean by that is, like, if his videos. I looked at his videos on there. Of course, he's on YouTube. Yeah, but I mean, he's back. He stated he was on a uh, pretty long hiatus for a while there, but he's back on YouTube and also on TikTok as well. Uh, yeah, also on TikTok as well. Um, to put up some new content there, add to what he's already got. So yeah, definitely be checking that out. See what he got planned and everything. What he got coming. For the EJ the Supreme. So yep, definitely be looking into that. We'll definitely be looking into that as well. I know I did recently, a little while ago, post one of his videos on the community tab there. So yeah, definitely, I'll definitely be looking at some more of it. So I can also share some of the videos with you guys there. Might even put it as a playlist on the channel. That way. Maybe put the video has like an EJ playlist for the channel, so um, that way, like say you can even get to the channel from here. Go to the playlist, and minute you click on the video, you're on this channel. So yep, we'll definitely try to do that as I look at them. Also, kind of also keep track of what I'm looking at on the channel, so you can know that I'm doing. As the old saying, practice what you preach. If you brought your Bibles, I say preach it. I was thinking about my old Pastor Odom there. If you brought your Bibles. Yep. So, all right. So let's get into the update on Yumeko number 2. Let's recap a little bit of what's happened. No, I know it's probably gonna be some information you've heard in the previous update videos, but like I say, we're gonna try to be brief with that and get into what you haven't heard. First of all, if I haven't mentioned this before, because I was trying to check through my recent videos talking about the second book, to sort of make sure, to sort of see what the last thing I mentioned was, as far as concerning this. So if it wasn't mentioned, because I sort of briefed through what I was looking through it this morning, I changed the title of Yumeko book number 2 from Bones of the Dragon. I changed the title to Hiko's Magical Time Arises, and once I start um, doing the proofs for the first book, which will be very soon. Matter of fact, today is Wednesday that I'm recording this video, so Tomorrow, um, I'm gonna be getting uh, the rough draft back from my mom. For what she's been proofing of it. Like I said, I already got Christina's the copy of the rough draft from Christina, her proofs. So I'll be getting um, the copy I gave the mom for proofing back. So yeah, like I said, you got two proofreaders in on this. I say Christina is a wifey and mama. So mama, like and my and my folks say when they was reading one of my reading a birthday card for my granny, and he's like, hey, "Happy birthday to you, better known as Mama." And then they started singing "Mama, Mama Hopper," Mama's family. Yeah. So so yeah, I'll be getting that back Thursday. Like I said, the day I'm recording this is Wednesday, of course. Might be a little different depending on when you're listening to this video. But yeah, yeah, Wednesday, February 21st. So tomorrow I'll be getting um, the first the draft back that my mom has, and and then once kind of go over the proofs that she's put in it. Then I'm gonna be editing both Christina's proof and my proof. I usually once I get them both back, I usually go to the ones Christina put in first. I go through that. Then I go through what the proof my mom has done, and then the final proofing is my own proof. And after all that, to mostly to make sure everything is in there the way I want it in there. Like make sure there's is there anything that I might want to change, which there probably is because there is going to be not a whole lot, but a few changes to the first draft. One of the changes to the first draft to book number one is going to be the title of it. It's going to be called Brownie to the Rescue instead of the Dangerous Supermarket. One of the reason why I'm changing some of these titles, because I kind of thinking in terms of like how my Heroes of Dream books. A lot of them they started off. They would introduce different characters each book. Like first Heroes of Dream book introduced Star Striker, then Target was introduced in the second book. Third book was Sword Girls. And of course, the fourth book was Bubblina, and so on, and Vandam X in the fifth book. So yeah, I was kind of thinking in terms of that, and also it's sort of kind of like how the MCU, they have Iron Man 2, Hulk, Thor, Captain America, then the Avengers, and so on and so on. Um, so yeah, kind of that, a little bit different from it, but you kind of get an idea that it focuses on a particular character. There are, I mean, of course, there's other stuff that goes on in the book as well, but there's a certain character that something special is going to happen to that character. Like, for instance, like book one, Brownie to the Rescue. Yes, because he's rescuing Anna in the first book from a hat monster. Then he has to come rescue Hiko and Samuel from the dangerous supermarket, as well as also some other things going on with Brownie as well. And then he's even talked about uh, where Hiko is very first story of the book. Hiko is telling Samuel about different things Brownie has done, like like how awesome Brownie is. So yeah, that's so yeah, it's definitely kind of Brownie's story in the first book. Book number two, Hiko's Magical Time Arises, what we're about to talk about now, because there's going to be something happening involving Hiko, pretty much with what's going on in this book. Yeah, with what's going on in this book, especially the fact that his grandparents are in danger. So yeah, it's kind of sort of like Yugi having to rescue his grandpa in Yu-Gi-Oh. Yugi, Grandpa, Grandpa. Yes, Yugi. You see, I have found that, given the proper incentive, anyone can be made to play my game. How else will you reclaim your grandfather's soul? Yep, so yeah, pretty much like that. And then, of course, as I mentioned in a previous video, the Star Striker Supreme update, or Supreme announcement, or however I typed the video, Star Striker Supreme, um, Star Striker is gonna be, his different ways of his character and stuff are gonna be based off of EJ the Supreme. So the third book is actually, as I mentioned there, is actually going to be centered Star Striker focus. His Samuel becoming Star Striker, of course, and then so on and so on. So that's kind of how the storyline will start. There's going to be a particular character focus, at least from the beginning of this series, and then we just sort of play it by ear as the series goes along. But yeah, that's at least gonna be the start of the series at the moment. Yeah, to sort of kick things off. This is also gonna be a big help because, like I say, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not telling you who's doing our because like I say, it's a novel, so there's not really gonna be any pictures in the book, but there will be the covers will be illustrated, definitely to get the attention of people. Scrolling for books stuff like that. Hey, what's your Miyako? What's this? So yeah, you gotta have a popping cover, obviously. So yeah, there will be some illustrated covers, and but I'm not gonna tell you who's gonna illustrate the covers yet. But it's not gonna be me, because like I say, my Photoshop is down. So yeah, we are gonna have somebody to illustrate just the covers for us. Um, and that's another reason why I'm starting off the series more like for like a particular character to carry each of the books at the start, to make it make things not not so complex for the illustrator that's going to be doing it for us. Like I say, not going to tell you who it is again, but when the book comes out, more than likely, yeah, we will reveal who the illustrator is when the book comes out. So yeah, that way it can be confirmed there. So anyway, I rambled on that quite a bit. All right, so let's go into the update on book number 2. Hiko's Magical Time Arises. So, of course, starts off previously in Yumeko, yada 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 yada. Book number 1, yada yada yada. Zombies, yada yada yada. Samuel Hiko, yada yada yada. Floor, blah blah blah. Fire station, blah blah blah. Brownie did this and Brownie did that. So, almost makes me think of dun 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 dun. Previously on Yu-Gi-Oh. So I guess in this case, previously on in Yumeko. So, here we are in Yumeko for the first time. Like, we gotta find Brent. He's in there. Wait, I thought he was in here. You're in danger. Ah, these zombies. Say, Brownie, you've got to help them. I'm coming, guys. And now the game begins. Oh, yummy, 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 it go. Had a moment there. so, so just briefly recapping. Yeah, chapter 1 sort of covered where Flora had come back and told Brownie and his friends that Hiko and Samuel were in danger at the supermarket. Emily showed up in there, kind of pointing out that well, this is kind of your fault, Flora, because you led them in there, you led them to this area in the first place, and yeah, so a little argument between her and Flora. Um, but they but it's like, okay, y'all quit it. Um, Brownie, of course, him and Gerald, they go to rescue Hiko and Samuel as well as Naomi. Um, then there's even a bigger argument with Flora and Emily. Like, who do you think you are, my mom or something? Like, you can't tell me what to do, especially after you barged in here accusing me. So then, of course, Flora vanished. Granny and Papa had previously entered Yumeko, and they're driving down Interstate 30, the exit for Interstate 59. But then they end up in a warp vortex, pretty much sending them in, pretty much where they're driving down. There's a bunch of these skulls that come down um, with spider legs. Granny manages to drive through them now really fast, drive across, or like Super Mario when he gets invincible. Except, except I don't think Granny's car would jump up like Mario, but that would be kind of cool though, especially and then especially or make the car grow with a mushroom, and then firepower with the flower. So, all those sounds. So, yeah, there's that. Ramon and Shanice talking with Brownie and Gerald and Hiko and Sammy and all them. Don't you want to be popular? Yeah, see. So, then of course, they, and of course, there's more detailed in that discussion. Where he go asking where are my grandparents, but Ramon's like you gotta find them. As I mentioned, kind of compares it with Pegasus taking Yugi Grandpa's soul. See, yeah, you presume as if I'm giving you a choice in the matter, but I'm not. For I do possess one of the 7 Millennium items, the all-powerful Millennium Eye, and I'll show you the true extent of its magics. So, in their case, they're sent into a vortex, and it hurls them back to the fire station. Um, of course, before they end up back there, Billy's searching for Flora's location. And once they find it, he's about to tell Emily where it's at, but she's like, "No, I'm going." He's like, she doesn't listen to where it's at, and goes right after Flora. Um, well, actually, Billy does tell her, that it is that the area has a magical barrier that prevents anyone from entering due to the dangers inside. But Emily's like, look, if she found a way in there, then she'll probably try to unleash those dangers. So she goes in there, and cause like you say, she don't trust Flora at all. Um, Back over the dojo now. I sort of merged. I merged a. I think this was in chapter 3 originally, but I merged into chapter 2. So that's kind of a little minor change there. Um, you meet up with some of the other kids there. You got Julie, Melina, and Tim are actually 8 years old. All three of them. Julius is 6, but he's about to turn 7, like later that year, because this is taking place during the summertime. So, pretty much somewhere in the fall, Julius would become like probably September. He would become 7, like Hiko. Uh, Julie ends up having the vision of the Grand Papa about to be attacked by Skeleton, but she doesn't know who they are though. So um, then and of course Hiko and Samuel appear in the dojo out of the vortex, and of course he gets Naomi mixed up with Julie. So that whole thing, like when I thought Casey was Taya, yeah, like or Naomi, how'd you change your clothes so fast? Like Taya asking about Kaiba. Kaiba, did you change your clothes? Taya, that's not Kaiba. Ah! He, you, he, yeah, he. So then, of course, it's like Naomi and Julie, they look alike. That little joke and everything about the twin. Say Julie, like I guess I got a twin sister or something. Yeah. So, Melina kind of. they introduce themselves to each other. Of course, Julius kinda is about to tell, but he's a little hesitant too. But of course, he's real shy and everything. And Melina kind of ends up speaking out for him out of her excitement there. Uh, and Julius like, say, it's nice to meet you, huh? So, and of course, there's something familiar about Julius. He can kind of notice that Julius looks kind of like him a little bit there, like he's seen him before. And then Brownie Gerald and Mr. Fluffles comes out of the vortex, and then Billy shows up and tells everybody what happened with Flora, and that Emily's gone after her. And the area that they're at is Skeleton City. Fluffles, of course, explains about Skeleton City. Um, say back 1985 that it used to be called Miriam City, and the skeleton was a big dragon that appeared. The dragon was defeated, but then a meteor came, and next thing you know, the dragon rose from its grave as a big skeleton dragon able to regenerate every time the military attacks, and they had to seal the area off. Um, Hiko finds out that his Grand Big Papa was there from what Julie tells him about her vision. Uh, and then of course it's like Hiko's like, yeah, I'm coming, I'm coming because I gotta help save Grand Big Papa. So of course him and Brownie are gonna go. Uh, but Mr. Fluffles tells them, hey, y'all got to say you might need Hiko's help because, he was able to help us against that zombie earlier. Uh, Big Pop and Granny, of course, they run into Flora in Skeleton at a fishing pond with those headphones on, like I mentioned. Talking about how you can't hear. Say some young folks listen to them music on them devilish headphones, can't hear a thing. so yeah, so Emily shows up there and just pretty much yanks the headphones right off. Like, all right, Flora, what are you doing here? It's like Flora's like, I could ask you the same thing, kitty cat. I told you not to call me that. Well, maybe you shouldn't have followed me here and messed up my relaxation. Yeah, right. Saying Big Papa has to like, whoa, 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 ladies. Saying, Emily, what's the problem? And she's like, well, this little troublemaking sprite is the problem, Mr. McCurrow. Such calls Flora a sprite. That is another term for fairies there. Mostly, cause we know fairies can be a bit of trickster sometimes, especially from what we've seen with Tinkerbell. Remember Tinkerbell? She wanted to get rid of Wendy because of how she was jealous of Peter Pan giving Wendy so much of her attention, of his attention there. Like as my school play say, get the terrible Wendy bird. Get the terrible Wendy. Peter's orders are to shoot her down. And it's like, well, and Peter Pan found out about it. Tinkerbell, come here. Yep. So there's that. Emily explains about how she feel like Flora had endangered Hiko and Samuel and Naomi, of course, and then run off here to this restricted area. And Flora's like, well, look, I told you before that I told them not to go inside the Cola Mart. And if this area is if this is a restricted area, why are you here? To find out what you're up to. Besides the obvious, none of your business. And then of course they have to. But then of course they hear Big Papa and Granny Big Papa. They hear something and hear something in the distance. First thing Granny's like everybody be quiet. Says like my uncle Ricky said a couple of times, shut up. Shut up. And then they hear the noise, and it's the herd of angry golden buffaloes. As I mentioned about that time Big Pop and I saw them bulls at the fishing pond. So yeah, it's sort of a reference to that. Um, so Big Papa details everybody get in that car. Big Papa picks up a large stick nearby, and he's like, "I'm gonna try to scare them away." And the buffalo they start charging. Big Papa he charges at them like a knight going into battle. And then Granny's like, "Archie, get back here!" And Papa he continued charging. But when he gets close enough, he hits the leading buffalo with the stick, and then all of a sudden they all just stop. And Steve, the way I said this, or like Steve Harvey said about these gorillas. I mean, well, monkeys that he said when he was in Africa, these monkeys that were going all like whoa, 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 whoa. He was like they were just arguing, and look, I know an argument when I see an argument there. And then all of a sudden there was this real big one that come out, probably a gorilla. That gorilla came out. I tried to bag up, and then I was like, "Oh! Everybody stop!" And I ain't gonna say what happened after that before he ended the show. You have to see. Steve Harvey still tripping to find out. But uh, boy, just imagine if that was Optimus Primal. They come out there from Rise of the Beast. Who are you? And why are you hunting for the key? Man, I don't know nothing about no key. So, Steve Harvey and Rise of the Beast. So anyway, getting back to this. Yeah, he stops all the buffalo. They stop when after seeing the leading buffalo get hit by that stick. Hit me with that stick. And Big Papa said, kind of demands at them to really try to put some fear in these buffaloes. Like, now look here, now look here, now look here, buffaloes. My wife and I are looking for our grandson and his friends. So either you help us or get out of the way. Buffalo, they kind of stand there for a little bit. Then suddenly they take off running and leave the area. And they're like, everybody's like, what? The Big Papa, he drops the stick and he's like, well, at least we can find the kids now. But then, this is why the Buffaloes ran away. It wasn't because of Big Papa. It was actually Skelegon himself shows up, and he ends up hurling a fireball. I mean, a fireball, and blasting the car to pieces. Oh boy! And suddenly, every, everybody looked, and when they see him, boy, Skeleton starts flying towards them really fast. Emily, she tries to take on Skeleton with a grappling hook launcher. She fires it, uh, sort of like Webby from DuckTales, and wraps around Skeleton's neck, and she tugs the cable. And it stops Skeleton for a while. Cause he's trying to get the cable off, but Emily's holding on really firm. She tells everybody run while she holds him down. And like Big Papa's at first like I'll stay and help you fight. No, Mr. McCurrow, I'll hold off the monster long enough for y'all to escape. Like so. So then everybody runs off. We go back to the firehouse, chapter 4. Uh, so turns out Brownie is obviously gonna go. He's gonna take Hiko, Samuel, and Julie with him to Skeleton City. Um, Mr. Fluffle stays back with everybody else. Naomi's a little concerned and worried. She's like, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I said I would go with Hiko to help him save his grandparents. And so Fluffles, he's sort of gently explains to Naomi, I know you did, dear child. let me start over and say, yeah, I can understand what I'm saying. I know you did, dear child. But the reason the rest of us are staying behind is so we can be on the alert in case Ramon strikes again. He might attack the city or interfere with the rescue, but we'll be ready to stop him. Naomi's still worried, of course, but so Melina chimes in like it's gonna be all right, Naomi. With Brownie leading and Julie's sword skills, your friends are gonna will definitely be able to beat Skelegon. Whoever this Ramon guy is, he won't stand a chance against all of us with Mr. Fluffles on her side. So Naomi feels a little bit better, and the only thing she says is just, "Promise me you'll all be safe and careful." And so now they gotta go get armored up to fight the dragon. As the old saying, time to slay the dragon. so, and there's one thing Naomi does before everybody takes off. Um, she's like, Hiko, I know I have given you this before, but I want to give it to you again. And she gives Hiko a, a kiss on his cheek to wish him luck there. Oh boy. Yeah, there's gonna much later. Not sure when it's gonna be, but much later, when Naomi, because right now she's in Japan. I'm thinking she's probably gonna be in Italy, because I know I mentioned before that she's Japanese Italian, but her and her parents at the moment are residing in Italy, which is, see, because her father is Italian, her mother's Japanese. So, her mother had actually traveled to Italy, and that's how she met Naomi's father, and two of them got together. So they've actually been, when Naomi was born, they actually in Italy, and that's where they currently are now. So Naomi, uh, like I say, while she is still part Japanese, she kind of more knowledgeable to um, Italy more so than Japan there, because of that's where she's been brought up at there. She probably knows a little bit, Japanese from her mother, obviously, but probably more skills with Italian. Yeah, so yeah, sort of a little different there, little cultural balance there. Um, so and of course with everybody seeing the kids, everybody like, ooh, Hiko and Naomi sitting in the tree. KISSING. How we sometimes do that little playful romantic tease. And so after, of course, that Brownie leads Hiko, Samuel, and Julie into the dojo where they suit up in their armor, and also pick out some weapons. Excuse me. Um, Brownie gets himself a fire axe with some pump pressure sprayers. That's the which is actually some useful utensils that we know firefighters have. We know firefighters, they do have axes, especially for trying to get in, like when they're trying to get in a building or something like that. In an emergency, sometimes they have to get those axes out. Um, then a pump pressure sprayer, they do have, that is a thing, which can spray some pretty high pressure amounts of water. And like my big papa once told me, that that high pressure water can be a pretty powerful attack. Especially even like just at the car wash, for instance. Like when we was washing the car wash that we have here in Shreveport, we was washing cars, washing the cars one day. Big Papa said, yeah, make sure you be careful with those, because um, if you fire the pressure from those sprayers that be spraying that you wash the car with, you hit somebody with that could actually cut them. Oof. Just saying. Yeah. So yeah, that they no. Yeah, now you know how powerful water can be in real life there. So then of course Julie, she got two katanas. and several daggers, which is also a reference to her Heroes of Dream persona as Sword Girl. She did have in like in Heroes of Dreams and other versions, or she most of the time she would have four swords, um, but here it's two of them. Because I actually thought that would be somewhat more practical as far as wielding them. Because yeah, I mean, you're trying to wield four swords, two swords in each hand. Yeah, it's possible to put two swords in one hand, but imagine you trying to have both hands with two swords in each one of them. Yeah. So yeah, I thought maybe two swords would be more practical. Uh, and then with the daggers, excuse me, with the daggers, this is prop now. I might put this in like with her techniques and stuff. But the daggers actually, there was a way with her psychic powers in Heroes of Dream that she was able to teleport her daggers um, to her hands and actually fire the multiple daggers from her hand in a way that it would look as if they were coming out of her sleeves there. So which there are some people that actually, especially knife throwers, there are some knife throwers that actually, uh, with sleight sort of like a magician, they can actually do sleight of hand and make them not make a knife like come right out of their sleeve there, like nothing up my sleeve, you know. And then Samuel, he gets some shurikens and smoke screen bombs and a retractable bow staff. This is actually going. This is also kind of a reference with him as Star Striker. When we first started off with Star Striker back in 2004, his thing was he could shoot solar beams and fly, and that was pretty much it. He didn't have it. There wasn't really much talk of any like martial arts or anything like that until Heroes of Dreams, because in Heroes of Dreams, he started off throwing Lego blocks built into stars, toy sword and jump rope, sort of similar to lasso his way around different things, and also some firecrackers and stuff. So, and when I say firecrackers, I'm not talking about the ones to light. I'm talking about them little poppers that you throw and they pop on the ground. So he had stuff like that. And then at the end of the first Heroes of Dream book, he got a battle suit from the BTB agency. We'll talk more about the BTB agency a little bit later. That will be a thing in the series too. Um, but he got a battle suit, so that was where I was trying like him to have a battle suit with what called star spinners and stuff like that, sort of built-in gadgets. So that's what the shurikens are kind of a reference to, the star spinners, and a retractable bow staff where sort of I kind of like that idea of a retractable bow staff from Robin and Teen Titans. He be fighting with it a lot. Excuse me there. But I figured that would be a good start for Samuel, especially before becoming officially Star Striker. But when he does, yeah, he will actually be getting some superpowers, much like in the '04. But it'll be more like what he's got in the comics, where it's the power of the cosmic star energy. So yeah, he will be getting that. But for the Yumeko series, he actually will be able to go between using superpowers as well as also stuff like shurikens and that bow staff there. So he actually do like a mix of both there. So it's kind of mix both in together there. Hiko has takes a moment to think about what he's going to use, um, and eventually he thinks for a second when Brownie mentions I don't mean to be rude, Hiko, but we gotta make a choice quick because we don't know how much time we got to save your grandparents, Emily, as well as Flora. And the minute Brownie mentions the word time, he gets an idea, and he focuses the magic on his pocket watch around his neck that he calls the Destiny Watch. He actually got this watch from his Big Papa. Um, this watch actually is the way that Hiko goes in and out of Yumeko. So yeah, that's the one thing about there's one thing about sometimes they point out with things in magic in general, like in Thor. Um, they mentioned about Thor could still use like his lightning ability, especially in the third movie, after his hammer was destroyed. But the reason he had the hammer in the first place is it was a way of helping him focus his powers, like like sort of or control his powers. It wasn't where his powers came from. The hammer. It was helping him control them, and that's one thing. So that's a concept I sort of looked at, as a way of utilizing magic in general. Yeah, something you can. Yeah, Hiko. So as we saw in book one, yeah, Hiko was definitely he made the ice cream come out the freezers and stuff, and all kind of things he did uh, to help them in the supermarket. But see now he's about to kind of have a little have an item to focus his magic through, sort of like the equivalent of having a magic wand. Um, but instead, he's using his Destiny Watch, and he has the Destiny Watch to bring forth arrow claws. And you know how, okay, like Wolverine has those claws that come out of his hand, and Deadpool's like, well, "Don't just stand there, you big ape. Help me up." Oh, no, 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 I'm good. So, um, but instead the claws aren't coming out of Hiko's hands. In real life, there is a thing, and they showed it in some shows like Son of Batman. This guy Ubu cracks Christina always laughs at this when Damien was chasing after this guy with the sword, and because when he was running from Damien, it looked like he was saying, "Help! Help! This kid is chasing me! Help! Help! Help!" So, and there's a big guy running from a 10-year-old with a sword, but a pretty dangerous one. Yeah, yeah. So, but Ubu had these claws on. And first, like I said, first thing I thought about was Wolverine, but you could slip them on. And I even looked them up. They do exist in reality. Yeah, you slip them on. But I'm pretty sure you gotta be real careful with these things. So that's in Hiko's case. The claws are shaped like clock arrows. And this is gonna be Hiko's weapon. These clock arrows from his Destiny Watch. Um, and everybody kind of looks at shocked, and Sammy's like, "I didn't expect that, but it looks cool." And Brownie's like, "Are you sure you want to go into battle with clock arrows?" "Of course. Trust me. The my magic with my magic, they'll be more effective than you think." Brownie's like, "I hope you're right." So back in Skeleton City, um, Emily's dealing is still fighting Skeleton, still trying to hold Skeleton down. Um, Skeleton manages to pull Emily toward him, and when he does, Emily does a flip and gives him a kick, which yanks Skeleton's skull off of his neck. So, but the skull shoots a stream of fire at her, but she quickly jumps behind the skull after after that, kicks it, and then kicks it to face and burn the rest of the bones, which makes them fall apart. So she just used Skeleton's head to roast his body, roast his skeleton-like body there. So yeah, Emily kind of got moves like Black Widow. Just pointing this out. And of course, eventually I'm playing. Now, I hadn't done it yet, but eventually Brownie is gonna get like this armor, this tech armor suit. Again, he hasn't got it yet, but he's gonna get like a tech armor suit, pretty much like I have here. Cause he actually used it in the second book of Yumeko, right at the end of book one, going into the second comic book. So, yeah, he's gonna have. Yeah, we're gonna be getting this suit eventually. Just like I said, I would save it a little bit later, but he'll get it. Yeah, with the power. So, yeah, he'll be getting that eventually. So he's kind of like the Iron Man of this series, or I guess the Iron Nog. Emily's like the Black Widow here, with her fight moves and stuff. And ironic, she's a black cat. A black cat, Black Widow. Just imagine Emily in those fight scenes of Black Widow, especially way when she first appeared in Iron Man 2. Did that leg move and everything. Somebody tried to come up behind her. Yeah, so Emily got some moves here. She could pretty much hold her own. Uh, all the bones, but suddenly, but of course, it's like that was easy, but a little too easy. Then suddenly all the bones recover from the attack and they all come back together. They, well, actually, before as they're coming back together, they attack Emily individually, and she's doing her best to avoid most of the attacks while actually trying to fight these different bones. So she's being attacked by the different bones individually as they're coming together, sort of like not my favorite Transformer movie, The Last Night, because I didn't really. It was just too much going on in that one, but I have seen it though. I remember the part where Bumblebee got blasted apart, and then he was coming back together. And as he was coming back together, he was knocking all the different soldiers out and stuff. And then some people speculated that Bumblebee might have learned this trick from Galvatron back in Age of Extinction when he did that little like when he shot at Galvatron and broke into them little multiple pieces. It was Bumblebee looked like, whoa, like what the? So yeah, sort of like that. They all attacking Emily. But several of the bones, cause there's so many of them, they strike her, and then they form back into Skeleton. Emily's still standing. He's like, "All right, you walking boneyard, bring it on." And they go at each other. One thing I said about her battle skills, they were like that of a CIA agent there. Yeah, you ever seen like somebody from the CIA, as Weird Al say, "It's the party in the CIA." Yeah. But however, it wasn't enough though, because in moments Skeleton grabs Emily and flies off with her, and Granny, Big Papa, and Flora, they see Skeleton fly past with Emily. Big Papa, they try to Big Papa and Granny immediately run after, but they fall into a pitfall trap. Flora quickly hides into some nearby bushes as Ramon appears, and they and what's that? And, oh yeah, Ramon. This is what Ramon says. Ramon's like, "A fall like that will put you out of commission long enough to become Skeleton's dinner after his black cat appetizer." And now to deal with those kids and that little puppy too. I had to throw that in there though. I'm gonna deal with those kids and your little puppy too. Or we were originally here. And your little dog too. I'll get you, my pretty. So, and don't get me started with Scooby Doo. I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids and that dog. I'll get you. I'll get you. Scooby Dooby Doo. Oh boy. And one thing I'm kind of thinking about. I'm not sure if this is gonna be in book number two or not, but this is sort of in my thought process. But I'm sort of thinking I put something involving Big Papa in here. Um, Years ago, I might ask him about this because I'll probably be seeing him a little bit later today. It's like real early in the morning right now, so I know they still asleep. I'm only reason I'm up, you know, this early recording this because just saw Christina off to work. She's at work right now, so of course I up to see her off to work and came here to make this video because yeah, what better time? You can't don't have this is about the best time that I have usually to make video. You like real early in the morning or late at night. Yeah, so just kind of varies. But one thing I would definitely ask them. I remember there was a time. I kind of may remember, but I'm just to make sure. But I think I know I was in elementary, but there was a point in time where Big Papa had hurt his back, really, and had to go to the hospital because of it, for them to get him fixed up. Um, but he had back pains though, and so I'm not completely sure as far as like the details on it. Then I'm not saying I details on it, but I thought about Big Papa and Granny. I mean, Granny Big Papa. They fall down this pitfall. So I thought about the fact what if Big Papa, of course, put himself where he cushions the fall for Granny. Obviously, be you know no the noble guy trying to you know protect his wife, of course, protect the lady in general. And as a result of it, this is how Big Papa ends up in the Yumeko series, ends up getting his back hurt and just like Big Papa in real life, having to go to the hospital for it after all this is over. So yeah, this actually could work out, especially with what I got planned for book number three, with how things are gonna happen there. So yeah, maybe this could actually I think I could actually work that in. But like I say, um, once when the rest of book two is a little bit more is written in there and it goes into completion. So first I gotta get book number one, uh, the proofs back and get that out and published. Um, but yeah, once get a little bit more detail on number two, yeah, that could work. Yeah. So, but you guys will know in the next few more few more videos later. Y'all know for sure. No, but that's what I'm thinking right now. um. So yeah, the Ramon like okay. So I do have a little bit of chapter five. Yeah, of course. Only thing I got for that is Brownie, Hiko, and Samuel and Julie, they're at Skeleton City. They arrive at the pond where after all this happened, after Skeleton, got Emily in the pitfall and all that. And so they started searching for clues, but then all of a sudden, the ground started shaking, and they end up encountering these Venus flytraps with giant skull heads, and so they end up having to fight against these things there. Um, they the and yeah, but there's an opening. Julie kind of the first one to initiate an attack because she puts up a barrier as these things attack them. These skull-headed fly traps, and then like unleashes the impact of unleashes the energy of the impact to knock them all down. But of course, there's gonna be some more that'll come up. One thing these Venus flytraps with skull heads, This is actually a reference to another thing from Super Mario Brothers. You could look it up. The piranha. I think they're piranha flowers there. Let me make sure. Let's say Super. There we go. Super Mario enemies. Uh, the piranha plants. Yeah, they them little thing be coming up out the tube. So like that. Um, but since we got a whole this whole thing with skeletons and zombies here, yeah, has a little twist on it. You know, imagine a Venus flytrap with skull heads. Yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be kind of creepy there. Skull heads on a Venus flytrap. Or bet yeah, Matt the skull head maybe in the shape of one there. So that's kind of what they're. So that's what I got so far. Yeah, it's gonna be. Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna put it in my AI app. See what that would look like. I want to see that. I want to see what that spy trap with skull heads. Skull heads. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be. This ought to be good. But of course, not good for our heroes though. But yeah, as far as a challenge and obstacle. Oh my! Okay, that's one image that came up. Yee. Yeah, don't want to cross that. Don't want to cross something like that in the dark alley. Yee. Or it's almost like almost like Squilliam and Squidward. Where he's like, "Who put you on the planet?" Okay, this actually look more probably this look more like what I'm probably imagining. Yes. Skullhead Venus flytrap. Yeah. Oh boy. Oof. Okay. So yeah, I'll save that so I can have that image. Okay. So yep, that's pretty much all I've got for this update. There. Like I say, got a little more ways to work. Um, I might be putting some more into it today. A little as the day goes on, depending on you know what all goes on. Um, but I do know for sure tomorrow I definitely getting them proofs back. And once I get the proofs back, that's when I'm gonna you know start getting all those edits uh into the first issue. Make sure all that's right there. So yep, all that's right. And then after that, be time to get it published. As for the publishing, I mentioned at one point that I was trying to look into different publishers and stuff like that. That could actually get them in the like physical copies in the bookstore. Um, Now I don't know. Maybe it might be different in other areas, but as for here in Shreveport, I actually talked with Barnes and Noble. About I asked them, did they know anything about some of these programs and stuff, especially the one that actually stated that hey, we'll get your book in Barnes and Noble and stuff. And asked them like, would that put this on y'all's shelves and stuff? They actually these are they say that these different publishing companies that have been popping up on Facebook a lot and stuff like that. These are third parties. They're not like directly affiliated with Barnes and Noble. Now it's not saying that they couldn't get the job done. Not saying that at all. But it's pretty much not going to be too different from what I already got. Well, because I'm all the publishing I got for like my previous books. What is of course Amazon Kindle Direct, which used to be CreateSpace. So yeah, it's pretty much no different than what I got there, except only difference. It's not independent. It's more obviously because of they charge like anywhere between like $200 to $500, maybe some of them a little bit more, because they have people that actually, um, I guess there's which they will probably explain it, like just say if any of y'all are making books, maybe y'all want to take a shot at some of these guys that are popping up, maybe because I know everybody got it, everybody is in a different position when it comes to publishing. But yeah, just letting you know if y'all thinking about wanting to do that for y'all's books, yeah, that's kind of what you're gonna be in for. But just make sure you get all the info. They do, but I'm pretty sure they, for the price that they charge, they probably do more as far as like putting the books together and stuff like that. Now what I got, they do put the books together, but you pretty much have to have everything already together. That's one reason, like I say, like why I have both my wife and my mom proofread the books, especially in my mom's case, being a school teacher and every retired school teacher, and of course my wife, she has taken now she didn't become a school teacher, but she has taken up uh, child development there. So she's been in that. She's worked in that field while she was in school. She took up classes for that field though. Child development, mostly I think like on the level of say somebody probably she probably and I mean just like she probably I guess if she went further with it if she wanted to she probably could have went into teaching, you never know, but like I say, yeah, she did. Yeah, she took it up, but I don't think she really. I guess after going through it, that was just pretty much it for her, So she just, so like I say, when we go in college, a lot of times we take certain things. Sometimes we're not completely sure what we want to do until we pick out something, go through it, and then maybe I'll go there, maybe I won't. So yeah, it's kind of like that. Some of us, yeah. So yeah, with that, with the publishing, yeah, this I had to have all this I had to have like my cover done, like all this was done in Photoshop. This whole thing before my Photoshop gave out. This was all photoshopped in, photoshopped together, and then like all the panels and stuff, they were photo pictures and stuff like that. They were photoshopped and then arranged, uh, in the way I wanted them for each page, page by page, and then I had to paste each page that was put together. And now I have what's called open. Let's see, yeah, I think it's Open Office there, which is pretty much like pretty much the new Microsoft Word, and then save it as a PDF and all that. So yeah, pretty much have to do what I've been doing as of right now. Now I don't know what would happen later as far as what as far as publishing is concerned, but right now, yeah, definitely, um, pretty much what we've been doing. Like I say, just have to make sure everything is proofed really, really well, from the proofers, and then also, like I say, me looking over all the proofs and giving it one final proof. 'Cause one thing, like I heard a critic say, when one of the critics that reviewed this movie called Cool Cat, when he was talking about these flubs that were in the movie, he said, "Wait, was that a flub? Wait, this costs money to buy, Derek. You can't have flubs like this. This cost me $12.99." So yeah, that is a really gotta be on top of that, even as an independent author at the moment. Yeah, that like I say, the more on top of that you are, the more chances in the future that you could definitely rise up in the ranks. So, like I say, but yeah, like I say, as of now, yeah, that's why I'm sticking with Amazon Kindle Direct for myself. And like I say, depending on how things go in the future, yeah, I might possibly go into some other vendors. Just all depends on what happens between now and then. But so that's the news on publishing and everything. I was gonna put that in a separate video, but I figured I might as well just share it there. Um, so yep, that's so yeah, that's pretty much it. So um, definitely. Oh, and also another thing. Be sure y'all definitely check out my history of Kroger Force that I've uploaded on here for the power, especially you Power Ranger fans. Yeah, definitely check that out. History of Kroger Force, Power Rangers Kroger Force versions 1 and 2. Definitely, as while I'm putting more into book number 2, as well as also doing the proofs for the first book and getting it published. I will get version. I will be doing some other videos, history of Kroger Force versions 3, 4, and 5, and also other Power Ranger creations that I came up with back in the day. So definitely be doing that for you Power Ranger fans, and also other videos, obviously. Um, and there will be some other toy reviews coming up. I got one that I plan to do before this month is over. Very special toy. Very special toy. Before this month is over, I will definitely have that up, and then there will be some others coming up even after that. So, yep. So definitely be on the lookout for all of that coming to the Miracle Universe. And like, share, subscribe, share with your friends. Say buy some of our books. Keep a close eye as these videos are getting uploaded, so you won't miss a thing. And also support us on that Patreon, just like EJ the Supreme. And be sure to check out his channel as well, as with the new stuff he got going. So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for your boys, King Gabe and EJ the Supreme. Yeah. So yeah, be on the lookout for what we got coming on our channels, back to back. And we will see y'all in the next video. Take care, everybody.